No, just appreciate certainly the hospitality and the accommodations to be able to keep preparing like we usually do back home, and certainly our team is extremely excited to be here for this opportunity. So, questions, please.
Hey, Coach, how's it going? Good morning.
Good morning.
Coach, just how big of a game is this for the program and what you've been building over the past years? Just, what was the message to the guys just going into this game week?
Well, our messaging always takes place behind closed doors, and we like to keep it that way. But certainly we've progressed a lot as a program, and these guys have worked really hard to keep earning that progress, and now we find ourselves with an opportunity here in the college football playoffs. So we're really excited about that opportunity.
Coach, game planning against a guy like Jeremiah Smith, who you guys recruited obviously very intensively, just, what's it like looking at this, years after recruiting him?
Well, I think the entire roster for our opponent is extremely talented. They're really well coached. They have challenging schemes. And, again, our guys have prepared really, really hard. We continue to prepare. This is obviously a big preparation day for us as well. And certainly, again, they're the defending national champions. So just an unbelievable opportunity for our program.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Just a question about Carson. He's been in these type of environments before. How much do you lean on him and his experience, as well as the rest of the team, to try and, calm the nerves down if there are some nerves dealing with this environment?
No, certainly it's a great benefit to have a quarterback that's been in situations similar to this. They're all very different and unique, right? But he does have tremendous experience against some really high-level competition. And if you look at a lot of guys in our roster, they maybe not have played a playoff game, so to speak, but certainly a lot of experience at a lot of different positions. And the guys that really, they're very professional about their approach, about their work, and have done a great job, preparing, through last game and now as we head into this game as well. So between him and the rest of those guys, certainly it gets you excited as a coach, knowing that those guys approach every single day like a true professional.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
We know that the players really lean on you for you're the emotional leader. Curious who you lean on in situations like this, really the first time as a head coach on the stage.
Well, I think we're very process-oriented, so when it's a good question, I'm not sure how to answer it. We push each other. We have high expectations of ourselves and for each other, and therefore I would say the lean is on each other. Players and coaches, coaches and players, and I always like to say that as much as you feel that you're teaching, you're also learning a lot as a coach with the different guys, that come through your program and the things that you learn about them to help you become a better coach, a better father, a better leader as well. So I would say that the unity of this team has been founded in just really hard work. Been through some real trying and times and situations and adversity, and it's been exciting watching the growth and development of our guys just galvanize throughout the process.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach, good morning.
Good morning.
You come into this game as an underdog. How does that affect your team, and what is your message to them?
Well, we don't place any value or strategic changes as it relates to a term like underdog or favorite. It's never been a part of the process. Our message has been consistent the entire year on how we approach our opponents, how we approach our processes. We're very process-oriented. We're very intense and very intentional in how we approach every single opponent, and this one is one that we approach in the same manner. It's what we know. It's what has granted us success throughout the course of the year, and certainly we're going to stick to that.
Yeah, Coach, having two pass rushers, the caliber of the two guys you got, what difference does that make for your defense, the disruption it causes to opposing offenses, and just your entire team?
I think the fact that they're really good at playing the run has really allowed them to become really good pass rushers because they've afforded us the opportunity to put teams in difficult down and distance situations. But I also think that, when you have a couple guys that can play at a really high level, they each attract attention. And I think we're complemented by some really good interior guys that allow, us to, I would say, when you're game planning opponents, we've played some really good offensive lines, and this one coming up is the best one that we have faced. You have to account for our players, we feel like, and it gives us a chance to just put them in a position to be successful. And by that I mean it's not only winning a one-on-one pass rush, but taking on double teams, right? Holding the point, doing their job, being efficient and effective and disruptive on your stunts. So I think that we benefit from two really high-level human beings that are great competitors that'll do whatever it takes for the team to win. Like they what? I think it's a healthy competition is what it is. I think, we so many guys that are in the media world and that are coaching now that played the game. There's nothing better than when you have someone to compete with on your team at the same position that you really, really like and love, right? That's a great driving force and a great driving factor. So the fact that those two guys have that kind of a relationship and that they get to compete against each other every day and against really good offensive linemen, it bodes well for us. It helps to keep developing, and also part of their legacy is leaving a high standard for the guys that are coming after them.
Coach James Brockermeyer, Texas kid. I guess what does he mean to that offensive line, and how cool is it that he gets to play in a game like this in his home state and all that fun stuff?
Well, I think it's cool that he's been on our team all year. He has been exceptional as a person, as a leader, as a teammate. He's one of those first guy in the building type of guys, always prepping, whether it be from a physical standpoint, mental standpoint, extra film. He is so on point come game time, and he's physical and he's tough, and there's nothing that he wouldn't do for the team and for the team to be successful. So we're blessed to have him. Comes from an awesome family. It's great that guys, we're so nationally oriented in terms of our roster. We have a lot of local guys, but we have guys from all over the country, and for guys from the state of Texas to be able to play in a game like this in front of a lot of family and friends, it's an awesome opportunity for them. Good. All right. You got one? Okay.
The challenge that their receiving core presents, especially with Jeremiah and Carnell on each side of the field, and then Ennis working underneath.
Well, I mean, there is as good as you have seen in college football over decades, right? Explosive, fast. Schematically, they do things to make sure those guys have opportunities to make plays and to create matchups. And I think what also sets that up is the fact that they're complemented by a great offensive line and a great running game. Those guys can put themselves in great down and distance situations, eat up chunk yardage on the ground, and then protect the quarterback really well. A quarterback that's, I think, the most efficient quarterback in the country this year. A guy that was, again, up for Heisman talk and should have been one of the top 5 guys. So I think holistically, plus the addition of that type of talent, I think that combination certainly is an elite combination.
Okay, we've got a few. Mario, just being here, in a position here to play a team that won the national title last year, what's it been like during film this week, and how do you feel you guys match up?
Well, I think the first thing is not having the mindset of just being here. I think that's probably the opposite of our mindset. It's if we're blessed enough to earn the opportunity to keep playing, our only goal was to keep getting better every single week. And we feel like we did that in our last game. And now I've had the opportunity for 2 weeks to keep practicing and prepare for an elite team with elite players, elite coaching staff, elite schemes. And that's been the focus completely, is making sure our guys stay on process. And they've done a really good job attacking that.
And you were talking a lot about the process of staying locked in, being locked in.
Mm-hmm.
How has the team, continued to stay on that trajectory as you guys have, advanced the tournament?
Well, I think all the work and the process has validated a lot of things. We certainly have progressed more this season. We got ourselves a chance to win 10 games and then get an opportunity to play in the playoffs and go on the road against a really talented team and win that game. And the processes keep getting better, and it's at the point in time in the season where the older guys have taken over that process. You see not only seniors but juniors understand the importance of being player-led and them steering.
I know that you can only think about what you have on your team and you've got to focus on your team. Is it difficult at all at times to look at the other sideline and being that close to signing their best player? And do you ever think about what it would be like for Miami, your trajectory, your team this season if he was on your sideline?
Not during this time of year. I mean, I think you're always assessing and analyzing, because you're always this game moves too fast to sit still. But while you're preparing for an opponent, the entire focus starts with your team first and foremost, and the preparation that goes with it. And of course, you're assessing and analyzing what other teams do, their level of talent, what they do schematically, how they adjust, the physicality of their team, and Ohio State certainly checks all those boxes at the highest level. So that's been our focus, make sure we prepare our guys to the best of our abilities.
When a fan thinks one recruiting result could change the trajectory of a program, is that a correct thought? Can one player have a huge impact, or is it a combination of a bunch of little things?
I don't know. I mean, I think subjectively, right? Each and every year it can go so many different ways, and I think each and every player that you sign can affect your program in a positive or negative manner. It can go both ways, and sometimes a miss is a blessing, and sometimes a miss, you better recruit someone to negate that miss, right? So I think if you stop, right, and you just conform to, okay, we're okay, I think that's when teams fall off. When you keep the appetite really strong for recruiting and keep acquiring high-level character, high-level talent, I think everything else takes care of itself.
Obviously, a lot is going to be made about Jeremiah Smith, but this is a pretty big stage for Mally. Is this the type of environment where somebody can put the world on notice and say, hey, we've got one of the best receivers in the country? I just and I know those seem to be narratives as it relates to games and the media or whatnot. We just don't live in that space. We don't. I think we're as simple as, when's our next meeting? When's our next practice? What about my next rep? And we stay the course that way. We stay in the moment. Anything outside of that would sound so foreign to our players. I'd be an alien to them, So we stay along the lines of that train of thought, and our guys have done a really good job with that.
Coach Adam Rosso with Spectrum News here in Texas. I'm curious your thoughts, your first impressions on James Brockermeyer. Obviously, you watched him. He's in the portal. You get him. But when you get him on campus, what were your first impressions of him as a player and as a person? A
professional, top to bottom, from A to Z, everything he does, his approach to the dailies, his approach to his teammates, his toughness in practice, his levels of effort, his levels of wanting to get better and making his teammates better. Just, you could tell, raised the right way, awesome family, all about ball, no nonsense, all about business, great personality, great leader. We are blessed to have him.
Knowing how much experience you had coming back on the O-line, how much does a guy like that give you confidence he could make a seamless transition just based on kind of his background and his upbringing?
Well, the guy that touches the ball on every play, the center and the quarterback, you want that, you need that. We have started the last 2 seasons against really good football teams. And you want to enter, you want the entire season to have great players on your team, but you want to enter the season being able to battle at the highest level against great teams with experienced great players as well. And so having him join us and be able to go through our processes in spring and everything else along with the rest of our team, it's invaluable, so he's been invaluable. And certainly he's playing his best football here down the stretch as well, and looking forward to him just continuing to get better and better. Yeah, go right ahead, buddy.
You know, obviously, second time you've been in Dallas this year. First time didn't go so well. James was saying, you know, a lot of people kind of felt like that was the end for you guys. How did you not let that loss linger, knowing this could be possible now, you know, 2 months later?
Yeah, that was a low point for us in the season. And in that locker room, it was as simple as a decision has to be made. And as that set in and we traveled back, it was important to collect our thoughts as to how we were going to approach this going forward, where the messaging was going to be direct, right between the eyes, right in the gut, because we had to change and get better. And it came down to the simplicity of taking all the clips of us in our first 5 games and putting it on a reel and just letting it play. No audio, no one talking, no nothing. Just shut the lights, remind ourselves of who we are. And there's nothing more powerful than the power of choice, you know? So we chose to regain our form and actually improve down the stretch and play our best football those last 4 weeks. And that's where things changed. You know, it's as simple as just choosing to do better.